Hello. Today we're going to talk about navigating in the Mimic Designer. So let's bring up our designer and log in. You can have several mimics navigating to one another, but for today's purpose I'll show you two mimics so that you can see the basic functionality of the navigation control. For my first mimic, I'll call it navigation. We'll head on over to the right side of the screen and find the tab marked Toolbox. Scroll down, you'll see the navigation section. Here we have a couple of different navigation buttons, a square button and a couple of gel buttons. You can use whichever one you like. They function the same, it's just whatever style you want to use. You can either click, drag and drop, or click and draw your control to the design surface. So that it's easier to see in the runtime, I'll go ahead and add in another control here and give it some color. Now I'll make my second mimic for my back button. I'll call that back navigation. Head back to Toolbox and Navigation and find our back button and bring him to the surface. I'll add in a gauge as well. Now it's time to save this mimic in our mimic folder, and we'll go back to our first mimic. You'll want to set up your mimic under the Properties tab. Just make sure that your navigation button is selected, otherwise you won't be able to see the setup button. Let's go back to him. Let's talk about some properties. The navigation behavior allows you to control how the mimics will behave in the runtime. You can either do a replace, which will bring up a new mimic when you click on those navigation buttons, or you can elect to do a pop-up border or window. Clicking the Cache Content button will allow you to save screens. Let's say you have some trends running or updating. Clicking the Cache Content button will save those screens. For today, we'll just leave this one disabled. The target name is optional. If you wanted to give the canvas a name, you can do that. And what that will do is when you give it a name and click OK, that will replace the content in a specific area of the canvas, not the main root canvas. Our mimic path is what we need today. We'll click on the mimics and click on back navigation so that we can get to that back navigation button in the runtime. We'll click OK. Your asset path is what you'll use if you have an asset template. You click on that and go to the assets. That would give you a drop-down menu, and you click whichever asset you would need. Click OK. I'll clear that out for right now. Now it's time to save in the mimic folder, and let's preview this in the runtime. So we'll click on our back navigation and gel navigation buttons, and you can see we can toggle back and forth easily between mimics. Thank you so much for watching, and we hope to see you soon.